There, and for those of you online, if you could just do us a big favor and keep your cameras on, that'd be great. That's one of our requirements for the Open Meetings Act. Thank you, Judge Diaz. Appreciate it. Okay, so I didn't bring your gavel.
It's okay.
All right, can you do without your gavel? Okay. If you all have noticed, Julissa is not here today with us. She took a well-deserved vacation, but there are some things that maybe might be missing because I'm missing my right-hand man. So go ahead. You can tap. Yeah, here you go.
Have knock. I'll call this meeting to order of the Rio Grande Council of Governments, May 30th, 2025, 10 a.m. And with number one, we'll do roll call.
If we may, can we do the Pledge of Allegiance first?
Oh.
That's all right.
Sorry,
No, that's
we'll do that. Pledge of allegiance.
Here we go.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Susan. Okay, and if I need for the record, I'll go ahead and provide the roll call. So we
Please.
do have Representative Cordero from City of Socorro. We have Board Member Rafael Padilla from Horizon Mud. We have Judge Curtis Evans, our first Vice President, chairing the meeting. We have Mayor Baeza with City of Marfa. And we also have, because I think sometimes town and city, but it's City of Marfa. That's how we're branded. Okay. And City of Socorro Mayor Rudy Cruz. And then online, we do have Sheriff Ugarte with El Paso County. We have Mayor Martin Lerma serving on the board today under Town of Anthony. So let's give him a congratulations. He's newly re-elected because he served in this position before. So congratulations to you, Mayor. We also have Judge Diaz from Culberson County. We have Mayor Gano from Town of Clint. So thank you, Mayor, for proxying for us today. We have Judge Hennington with Brewster County. And we also have Judge Joanna McKenzie with Hudspeth County. And then and I believe that's everyone that's represented. We do have some staff online as well. And I'll turn it back to you, sir. So we do have a quorum.
We do have a quorum. And if you'll tab number 2, approval of the minutes from our previous meeting.
I move that we approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Second. Moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. Any further questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. 2.1, Rio Grande Council of Governments. That was it. Now we have public comments.
We do not have anyone signed up for public comments today, but, and I know that we can't speak to it in terms of any conversation, but I just did want to note the Fort Bliss Summit that was conducted by Mr. Wells. Several of you attended that summit, and it's just one more iteration of community involvement, finding opportunities for all of our participating entities to work with Fort Bliss. And so I just wanted to commend Leonard on the great job.
Yeah, thanks everybody who supported that. I think it went very well. We appreciate it. Appreciate you. Thank you.
And I don't know if there's anyone else from the board who wants to public comments, or we're good? Okay. No more public
right.
comments, sir.
Moving on to number 4, 4.1, updates, signatories for the bank accounts held at Wells Fargo.
Okay. And so I'm going to ask for Judy to also read in agenda item 5.2 as well. And Judy, can you read that agenda item?
Sure. Agenda item 5.2 is Rio Grande Council of Governments Board of Directors, second vice president vacancy, also by Nicotia.
Yes. And so I would like to take these 2 items together only because my request will be for us to delete this agenda item. And I just want to explain why. We want to give Judge Evans and Commissioner Holguin an opportunity to further discuss the vacancy of the second vice president. We do have David Cantu here with us today. He will be on another agenda item, but with former Alderman Cantu's loss in his position in San Rosario, that has 2 vacancies that are being created. And so one to be the second vice president, and the other one to be the representative for the small communities in El Paso County. So we want to have a further discussion on that. We already have received two board members have expressed interest so far in serving as a second vice president. So I think because of that, we want to just give it a bit more time for discussion before the chair and the vice chair will come up with a member to appoint. So if I can, in a very long-winded way, ask for a motion to delete both 4.1 and 5.2.
And then would it be a motion to delete or a motion to postpone the item or table the item?
Well, so, and here, this is where I've been in the LGC world with the county, and so they like to delete, not to table, but we have our legal counsel here, so I'll ask.
I mean, I think it's a matter of semantics, but it's deleting it, I think kind of implies that it's permanently being removed. Whereas this is a decision that you're deferring into the future once a decision is made, right?
So then I will correct my recommendation to table both agenda item 4.1 and 5.2.
I'll make that motion to table items 4.1 and 4.2. 5.2.
Second.
Thank you.
It has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
All right, so then we'll go on to 5.2, if that's okay. 5.1, if that's
Now
okay.
we'll move to 5.1, Strong Towns National Gathering.
Yes, so
2025.
Board of Directors, what I have for you all today is a request. We had been talking about this initiative prior to former Alderman Cantu's re-election loss. And so there is an opportunity for, the way that we looked at it was there's an opportunity for a board member to attend this session, the Strong Towns National Gathering. And Alderman Cantu is already a member of that organization. And so we wanted to bring to you a request to pay for his travel costs associated with this conference. And the idea behind that would be that we would obviously to allow us to gather that information and bring it back to the board in terms of the knowledge that has been gained. We do have David Cantu here who can also speak to the conference if you'd like, Alderman Cantu. And you can speak from here if you'd like.
Okay, good morning, and it's good to be here today. The idea of Strong Towns is to renovate communities to make them more walkable, more healthier. So about 5 years ago, I met the CEO of Strong Towns in a conference in Austin. And as we were talking, he was Googling San Elizario, Socorro, and the area, the whole El Paso County. And he said there's a good fit for a lot of these things to happen here. I've been working with him for the last 5 years through webinars, and I was selected last year to be part of the cohort for 2025. So there's 32 people in that cohort nationwide, and we've been working to helping each other on some projects, what we can do to make communities better, in particularly main streets. And how do we do those main streets walkable and bring in economic development? So as I was working with them, they did highlight San Elizario in one of their presentations that I presented. They took that and they put it on a reel, and they said it just says small town in West Texas, but it shows Main Street and how it could be renovated and how it can be used for economic development. And that's something that I was pushing for San Elizario. And I know the staff is on board with that. And I think they're going to continue to do that. And I'll just be there to help them and guide them as a consultant, I guess, from now on. But being part of this cohort gave me the opportunity to go back. I've been to Strong Towns 2 times already. This is another opportunity to go back, not as a presenter, but as a volunteer to gather more information, attend more sessions, and meet with a cohort. 32 of us will be meeting for a luncheon, and we're going to discuss several topics. So when I was going through the process of making these arrangements and going, Annette and I had a conversation of how this is good for the whole entire region, because small towns like Marfa could be involved, Alpine, that they could get going through the same process of becoming a strong town. So this is something that I am passionate about, and I will continue to work with them for as long as I am able to.
And in turn, the return on investment will be that we'll create an after action report in terms of what steps we can take next with this organization in terms of focusing on those communities and how it is we can elevate that. And so the request is to approve and authorize the administration to pay for travel costs associated with the Strong Towns National Gathering 2025 for former Alderman David Cantu in an amount not to exceed $2,203.56. This amount does represent all of the expenses. It's the airfare, it's the hotel, it's the registration, it's the per diem, and it's the taxi Uber costs. And so, and the conference is in Rhode Island in Providence. And so it is a bit more of a jaunt to get there. So there's more expenses associated with that as well in terms of time and effort, but the cost might be lower than the 2203, but that's the max that we wanted to ask for. So I'm available to answer any questions if anybody has any from virtually or in person.
Move to approve. Second.
All right, thank you, sir.
Been moved and seconded.
And I'm sorry, we forgot to ask our virtual members. We're good with that. I didn't hear any ayes from the virtual world or raise your hand.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
All in, it is approved.
No, we haven't voted yet.
Huh?
Have we voted?
Yes, it's just, I asked for the it is, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. And motion does carry.
Thank you.
Unanimous. 5.3,
Yes, sir. For those of you who were at our meeting last month, I already had made this request of the board to allow us to submit a request for proposals. Unfortunately, I did not receive any proposals from any interested parties. And so I did receive some feedback in terms of some items that perhaps could be clarified within the proposal. And so I want to give it a second go and see if we can do this again in terms of having a trainer create our curriculum as well as provide the training for an abbreviated version of mediation for professionals. And so again, this is to approve and authorize the Rio Grande Council of Governments to issue a request for proposals to create an abbreviated curriculum for mediation to be used by professionals. And that would be the agenda item. I can answer any questions you may have.
any questions?
To approve.
All right, been moved to approve this item.
Second.
And it's second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, number 6.1. Talk about the Regional Solid Waste Management Program from Marissa Quintanilla.
Good morning, Board of Directors. Requesting approval to authorize and approve the following conformance reviews, recommending favorable comment from the Solid Waste Advisory Committee. Online, we do have Mr. Nick Ibarra from the City of El Paso, Director for Environmental Service Division. He also serves as our chairperson for our SWAC, for the Solid Waste Advisory Committee. So we met yesterday, and there was 3 items that needed to go before the committee for review and recommend either not favorable comment or favorable comment. One of the items in particular that you have in your board packet is actually an amendment to the Greater El Paso landfill. And I know that we just wanted to provide a little bit more information regarding that amendment, what it entails, and if there's an impact within Horizons, Town of Horizon City and Clint. But I'll go ahead and lean on Mr. Ibarra to go ahead and provide some information regarding the city's request for that amendment permit. Mr. Ibarra?
Yes. Good morning. Marisa mentioned my name is Nicholas Ibarra. I'm the director from. We're currently doing a permit amendment at the Greater El Paso landfill, which is our permit 2284, which will be known in the future as 2284A with the amendment. And what we're doing is increasing the vertical height of the landfill by 73 feet at the Greater El Paso landfill. The additional height will provide us 8 additional years of trash storage at the Greater El Paso landfill. Currently, we have approximately 12 years left of disposal capacity at the Greater El Paso landfill. So we are doing the permit amendment. The main purpose was it's just to provide us a buffer in between when our current permit is running out and then our permitting for a new permit, which will be adjacent to the current property at the Greater El Paso landfill. So it's mainly just for a buffer. My goal is not to use this extra space at the Greater El Paso landfill and hopefully get the new permit before we need to go through that vertical expansion to place waste on top of the current landfill cells. So this whole amendment is actually occurring on our currently permitted area. There's no expansion of the current landfill. It's just we're just going vertically 73 feet. Are there any questions?
I believe within your packet, you do have the summary of the application that was provided for your review as well as the maps of that area. So that was one of the projects that was reviewed yesterday. The other permit is from El Paso Water Control and Improvement District number 4. It is a renewal project and just basically authorizing the discharge of treated domestic wastewater not to exceed 1.2 million gallons per day. The committee also recommended that this permit favorable comment. And then the last permit is from the El Paso Water Utilities Public Service Board. And again, this is a renewal just to increase.
That's the,
Oh, wait, do you mind muting first? Thank you. Okay, we're good, Maddie.
So it's increasing the discharge of treated domestic wastewater from the annual average flow. And so I'll lean on Mr. Ibarra again if you all have any questions. We did discuss these in length yesterday, and they're renewals, so they're not new. Either the permits have to be renewed or they're just expanding the amount that's being released. Nick, did you want to comment on any of the projects that were reviewed yesterday?
Like you mentioned, these are just renewals for wastewater treatment plants in Pavens and in the lower valley. So standard operations with TCQ to renew their permits. And I believe they've just adjusted their numbers at both plants to meet current standards of what they're dealing with on a daily basis.
And this would be,
well, I had a question for number 1.
Yes, sir.
What's the permitted height right now for that landfill?
Permitted height, I don't actually have the actual elevation, but currently we go 70 feet above ground level at the landfill. I don't actually have the permitted number, but it's currently 70 feet. So this would put us approximately 140 feet with the approval of the amendment. And this is all per the FFA has been submitted to make sure it doesn't affect any airplane or any operations with the local airports also.
So this would be about the size of a 12 or 13-story building, right? 14?
Correct.
well, thanks for putting it into perspective. That sounds scary.
Yes.
It's going to look more like a pyramid now.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we already have pyramids out there. This is a little bit smaller, but it going higher, but it doesn't provide a lot of room because, as you get up on the pyramid, it's a lot less space to work on. So even though we're going 70 feet, it doesn't provide a ton of capacity extra. Like I said, it only really helps us for about 8 years. But as I mentioned, our goal is this is just as a buffer, just in case we need it in the future. If we can't, but we should be working on a new permit in the near future to make sure we'll have the space, but hopefully not use it in the future.
Thank you.
And this is an agenda.
Okay, being an action item, I will entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
And moved and seconded to approve this amendment to increase 73 feet. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank
6.2,
Board of Directors, this is just an informational item. Wanted to let the board know that we did submit a community project funding request to Congresswoman Escobar's office for regional interoperable communication projects in the amount of 3.3 million. This project is one of 7 selected by Congresswoman Escobar for submission. So we're hoping that we would be successful in obtaining additional dollars to go ahead and apply those for subscriber units for communications.
And I did reach out to Congresswoman Escobar's office yesterday just to confirm the process. And she does have 7 projects on her website right now, but the other committees who have the community project funding allowability have different deadlines. So there might be some more projects coming on than the 7, just in case some of you are on that list with Congresswoman Escobar. And they did say that Benjamin Harrison did say that the hope and anticipation is that the 3.3 million will go, but that's subject to the committee's decision. So we don't know what the final number will be yet, but the Congresswoman did accept it at the 3.3 million.
being an informational item, move into 6.3. Vision on State Emergency Communications, presented by Marissa Quintanilla.
Right. Went ahead and wanted to provide you an update regarding our submission to the Commission on State Emergency Communications, our strategic plan for the next biennium for fiscal year 26. Actually, the amount for this coming up year 26 is close to $1 million, $947,124. And we want to go ahead and provide a couple of enhancements to our public safety answering points. That's our PSAPs, our 911 center. As you all know, City and County of El Paso have the 911 district, where in the rural jurisdictions, the Rio Grande Council of Governments is the 911 authority for our rural counties and cities. And so one of the items that we do want to do is actually replace our network, a redundant network. We currently have a T1 line from Culberson into Hudspeth County. Our main fiber comes in from Big Bend Telephone, and then they lose their footprint as they come west. And so we do have a T1 line with AT&T. That T1 line is going to be obsolete in October. So we're looking at providing a redundant network through Starlink. And so right now, working with Carbine and working with other subject matter experts to see how we can go ahead and have a wireless redundant network. And I think that'd be really neat to have that. I need to talk to Big Bend Telephone to see what their plan is to bring more fiber out to those 2 communities. So I still need to see what that's going to happen. But for now, the redundant network, if our main host, which is Alpine, goes down, then we'll be able to use Starlink as that redundant network. That's one of the items. I'm not sure if the network background came.
Yes, the network, it's not on the presentation, but it's on their backup in terms of the schematic.
Okay, it looks a little bit messy, but that's basically where our circuits are. And I think, Mr. Padilla, you probably would appreciate that diagram, because there'll probably be, something that is like, yeah. So if you look at that diagram, it's pretty, it's a lot. So it's our circuits and it's our network and it's, our cloud infrastructure that we have with Carbine. The other initiative that we want to implement in 26 is actually at each of the PSAPs, you have 2 workstations. And so we want one workstation actually to be, instead of having a desktop, to have a laptop with a docking station. So in case that PSAP needs to evacuate, that laptop and docking station can go with them as a go bag, and they can set somewhere else up and still continue to take those calls. And so we're looking at doing that, and I think that'd be really great. One of the things is that if we implement that to-go bag, we would be one of the first in with the RPCs through the Commission on State Communications, be the first RPC to implement a project as such to include the Starlink. So I think that's great. I think it's one of the things that they always look at us just because of our population, limited population in the rural jurisdictions, and then the land space that we have and how to be able to have that delivery of 911 calls. And if it works out in far West Texas, it will work out in more populated areas.
And we don't usually have this as an agenda item, but there's just so much work that's done with the program, right? That'd be great for some people to highlight for you all to know what's going on.
Thank you for the information.
Thank you.
Thank you. Move to 7.1, summary of the meetings of the city of El Paso and the county of El Paso on meal programs for older adult residents of El Paso County. Yvette?
Good morning, Board of Directors. Yvette Yugo. I am the director for the meeting. And so these are informational items for us just to provide you an update. This first one, as last month we discussed, looking at our meals program, our funding, et cetera, specifically looking for our El Paso County meal program. Annette and I have entered into discussions, if you will, with our city representatives, as well as our city manager, to look at ways in which possibly the city of El Paso might be able to contribute towards the meal programs here in El Paso County. As you recall, El Paso County is our nutrition provider, but we work, it's a three-prong approach to how these nutrition programs are delivered in our community here in El Paso County. We obviously, County of El Paso serves our nutrition provider. They run and subcontract with the entity who provides the meals, prepares and provides the meal. But we also utilize City of El Paso Parks and Recreation senior centers as part of the delivery, right? The location sites. There are also 6 county wide sites that are run and operated through the County of El Paso or through cooperative agreements in Montana Vista, City of Socorro, and in Montana Vista and City of Socorro, excuse me. Those are La Fe in Montana Vista and City of Socorro with their senior center. And so through that cooperative, it was important for us, at least from my perspective, to help our city representatives understand this dynamic. I think sometimes we didn't understand how and what was all, what it took basically to put together these nutrition programs here in El Paso County. And so through that, because we can forecast and actually have a waiting list right now of interested persons that want to receive a meal, our funding obviously is we're at our maximum ability to support because we also have 5 other counties that we have to provide that support as well. And so for our funding, specifically El Paso County, we are at our maximum capacity. The County of El Paso, as we understand, is also contributing towards assisting with feeding individuals. And so we've got about approximately 64 persons on a waiting list that would like to and have expressed an interest, have gone out to the senior centers saying they would like to receive a meal. And so through that and conversations really with all of our city representatives, I think they've at least expressed to us that there is support. There is conversations being had with the county administrator, Ms. Betsy Keller, as well as the city manager, Ms. Dion Mack. And so I believe that this is going to be fruitful and just show our support from the Council of Governments in that we're all on the same page, really working towards helping to continue to support older adults. And so they've been very fruitful in my opinion, and we're hopeful that this will in fact lead to some kind of financial contribution from the city of El Paso towards this meal, or towards the meals. I don't have any definitive answers now, but just to know that those conversations are being had, and it's really just opening up the dialogue for us, helping us to look at ways that possibly we can create better efficiencies, work with our county partners, and maybe then bring along the City of El Paso Parks and Recreation group as well. So I'm happy to continue with further updates as this moves along, but let's positive vibes that this will result in some financial contribution as well.
But also with some reality being inserted in terms of the uncertainty that we're going to be facing for FY26. So although city and county El Paso are the largest meal providers, participants, that doesn't mean that we may experience some issues with our rural areas as well. And so I know everyone's budgets are going to be very tight this coming fiscal year, but as you all are preparing your budget, if perhaps there's some additional funds that you would want to assign even as a reserve in case, because I think that's going to be the hardest explanation to give to an older adult. I'm sorry, I can't feed you anymore. So we're really working hard to figure out some ways to ensure that we're not going to run into that predicament.
I have a question. So I don't know all the dynamics behind how we were able to feed like the senior citizen programs and stuff like that. I don't know where a lot of the monies come from. I know that El Paso, we do really, really well when it comes to feeding our own and helping the surrounding areas and the other counties. Have we engaged outside organizations, and I'm talking about outside of Texas, for the purposes of bringing the financial resources to be able to explore other options? It doesn't have to necessarily be from here. There's national organizations, and I don't know if there's been any engagement with any of those.
So I think that, I mean, you're providing information to our needs to be innovative because we haven't done that. So we would need to explore that opportunity. The next agenda item that Eva just had for the senior fund, again, I'm putting a lot of eggs in that basket, but I'm hoping that will be fruitful for us. But I think that on a national level, everyone is using this model where the Older Americans Act funding is going to AAAs throughout the United States. And so the way that it gets funded in El Paso, I think we would like that to be the takeaway in terms of this conversation. Who pays for most of the meals? The AAA does through the Older Americans Act monies. And so if we get cut 50%, 75%, then yeah, we're going to be scrambling to figure out how to make that work. And so there's just a lot of ways that we need to start thinking about how we can ask the public for additional assistance. And then on a national level, perhaps there's some corporations that would want to participate in this initiative. And I think, again, with the next agenda item being the senior fund, that will be a venue that they can use as a vehicle to have that kind of engagement. So those are all the things that we're working on.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a great segue there into my next agenda.
As we segue into 7.2.
Thank you. And as Annette shared, this is an update on the senior fund. And yes, those have all been thoughts that we have considered, or at least in the planning, to look at ways to expand this program. You'll know that we came to you, we asked for permission, if you would, to allow us to transfer and enter into contract with the Paso Norte Community Foundation to transfer the senior fund to their under their auspices of their foundation. And really what I'm learning and experiencing, I'm really excited about, is that this is really going to give us the opportunity to be in the driver's seat and how we can then access and potentially expand to serve all of our region. You'll recall the senior fund was just permitted to serve and support El Paso County, under which the El Paso Times, United Way, and now under the Community Foundation, this really does give us the freedom and liberty to then expand and start looking at potential donors outside of grants, et cetera, that might fund this. Talking and having these conversations regarding meal programs, there's ways under the senior fund to narrow down or specify that any funding or any fundraising efforts can go towards meals. And so that has also been kind of our cornerstone and how we're also looking at expanding ways. And it's a little different, right? Because we've never had to look at fundraising per se, because we've always enjoyed the funding and appreciate the federal dollars that come to the Council of Governments through our organization. And so it'll challenge me, definitely, but I'm up for that, especially because we can look at ways to expand. And I know that we've talked about and perhaps looked at other entities, not just nationally, but within our region. I know Mayor Baeza and I, we've had that conversation, again, looking at how we can perhaps focus efforts to support that. The senior fund for us really allows us to expand our original dollars to help support additional needs, perhaps things that we might not necessarily be able to provide or support through the funding that we receive. And so because it is local dollars, local donations, that gives us that flexibility. And so through the Community Foundation, yesterday I was at a meeting where they talked about all of the support that they can lend us. And it's really more the form of social media support, press releases, media campaigns, things that perhaps we are not experts in, but they actually have staff that are dedicated to do that. And so I'm really excited about these opportunities that are going to move forward with that. This morning, I recorded a small promotional video, so I'm looking forward to that getting put out through their social media outlets. And we'll see where that leads. We're going to continue the efforts through the El Paso Times to do the traditional fundraising as we've been accustomed to. And I think some people that actually still read the paper are still used to that and look forward to that during the holiday season. So just so that you know, informationally, we had a beginning balance of $100,308.57. And so that through what we've now started to, again, with the freedom to be able to access this ourselves, we submitted our first request for payment for a repair to someone's home. It was a bathroom modification in the amount of $3,765. And so we are projecting to help support at least 4 more participants with their repairs to the home and 1 possible person with a hearing aid. So an additional $30,000 that we hope to spend within this fiscal year, leaving us at a projected $65,000, 690 balance. And so we're really now in this capacity to be able to access the funds ourselves. We're moving along quite nicely, and it really is very refreshing to be able to know that we have this additional financial support. And we'll see where it takes us. Excited about new possibilities, but this is just information for you to know.
And just as a reminder, this senior fund can go to all of our counties. And Doñana as well, Las Cruces. So if you all want to initiate a fundraising campaign within your area that you want these monies to be specifically for your residents, we can use the senior fund as that venue. And so like I'm thinking about Judge Urias. I know that in your county, you might not hear me. So in your county, Judge Urias, with all of that gas exploration going on, perhaps one of the companies wants to make a contribution for our older adults. The monies can go through there, through our senior fund. So that's something that I think we should definitely take a look at, because you can use the senior fund as the vehicle for that effort. And then also we were thinking about just also being able to tap into foundations. We did get confirmation that we can apply for, if we want to apply to a foundation for a grant, we can go through that 501c3 to be able to initiate it. So we're just trying to think of all the ways possible to make sure that we meet the needs of our older adults.
Answer any questions?
When Jeff Davis County's plan is to have a senior meal once a week, possibly minimum of once a month, and have our seniors in and with our paramedics, and to have checkups on them for a welfare check, and we'll feed them. How are they doing? If they're not there, we'll send our EMS out to do a welfare check on them, or just checking up on our seniors.
Good.
Pardon me. So hopefully these programs stay afloat.
Yes, because I think right now Jeff Davis is not participating in the meal program.
No.
So we'll have to see if you do want to come on for fiscal year 26, if you're ready. We have to see how, what monies we can have for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know we're interested in working on that meal since we finally have a place.
Okay, very good. I'm glad for that.
You have to come, you have to tell us when it's ready so we can see it.
Oh, yes. Also, Jeff Davis County is July the 11th. We are having a grand opening of our medical clinic, Davis Mountain Medical Clinic, and everyone is invited. We will, it's a very unique situation because Texas Tech is providing the telehealth equipment for our facility. Texas A&M built our facility. They're collaborating and coordinating everything to work through both colleges. So this is a first time for everyone.
Well,
So
I think, I don't know if you had done it right now, but this has a physical security for the camera and it was turned
I
off.
think-
So if you have it flipped it,
Yes, okay, we got that taken care of. We're okay on our security. We're good.
okay.
Right.
So anyway, lots of things happen.
Very good.
Anyway,
Thank you.
I guess we're into number 8 on the announcements.
Yes, so there are any announcements. You just got ahead. So that was your announcement in terms of the
Yes.
medical clinic that you're opening on the bus.
Are there any other announcements? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Fine.
We are adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
All right,
Thank you for
thank
joining. Thank you. This is our shortest one yet. It's been a while since this has happened. We've gone in the opposite direction. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate it. Yeah. Yes, sir. How's everything going?
Good.
Yeah? Okay. We'll turn them off, don't worry. Yeah. Turn them off. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, okay, and then do you have your hotel receipt? Oh, yeah, she gets ready to be.
And we received.
Sometimes
Right.
it's done and sometimes it's not.
Okay, you're fine. I think it's fine.
Yeah, you got
What did you say? Okay.
You're always welcome there.
So I'm just gonna be, I have to be.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Saturday yesterday on the site application.
Be there that.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Just got it.
Yeah, we were.
Well, if you wanna do
Might
that,
have-
that's fine.
Thank you for your, but the embassy, I love the breakfast.
Good to go. Well, there you go. Which one is it? Okay, well, we'll talk about that real quick.